Good morning, everyone. How is everyone on this beautiful hump day? Good morning, Mr. Bob, Mr. Knives Are Life. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope this day gives you more than you asked for. I finally have a day off, which is awesome. Good morning, Mr. Lone Star. Artisan Cutlery Cygnus. Not familiar with the Cygnus. We'll have to check that one out. Y'all are fighting for number one, huh? Anyway, hope you guys are doing great today. Good morning, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid. You didn't fall asleep. I'm totally surprised. I thought for sure you would pass out this morning. Good morning, Mr. TC. Hope you're doing well, sir. We are going to get into our blade talk on day 181. 2 more days from the middle of this broadcast will be exactly 6 months. So that's pretty awesome. Caffeine is life. I have my coffee in hand. I do agree, Mr. TC. Mine is right here. Cheers. My cup's a little beat up. It's got cigarette burns and all kinds of stuff on the lid and crazy. But it is good. So last night, I threw an edge on this before I went to work. I threw a quick 5-minute edge on it because it was the dullest knife I've ever gotten. This thing was super dull. I mean, it would not cut an air biscuit. So I threw an edge on it last night and I carried it. I also disassembled it last night at work and cleaned it. And Mr. Ed was right. That gritty feeling with the bearings was all due to, I don't know if the person before me lubed it with graphite or some kind of something like that. But it had some black stuff all in it. Terrible. So yeah, it worked its way out and feels great. But I did order skiffs for it yesterday also. So I had that in the front pocket. And then in the back pocket, I had the other integral that I got yesterday or the day before, and that is the Kaiser Brat. And this thing is super cool. For the price, you can't beat this knife. It makes great noises opening and closing. Feels super solid. It's got a nice click when it closes. It's got a great sound to it. Integral G10, not that expensive. I got this one for $50. Looks unused. It is super sharp. 154 cm blade steel, and it's a big knife. I thought it was going to be smaller than it is, but it is big. Did you get your shortcut? So I got mine yesterday. That was going to be the first thing I showed today, was my shortcut. So I was super impressed with it. Yeah, I looked at this thing against the original, and if this is not made in the exact same factory, I would be surprised, because I cannot find a single place that it is not exactly like the original. Every single bit of it, from where this line is to like even up here on the top where the where this piece is separate from this piece, every line on it looks exactly the same as the original. Action on it is great. It's super fidgety and fun to play with. It's got some of the best, I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's got awesome detent, but it's like this little click, and I don't know, but the spring is great on it. The lockup is great. Everything about this thing is cool. It didn't come with the blade that's pictured, but I will show y'all what I did. You found a bunch of differences? Where did you find differences? So does it have the sound? I want to show you. I don't know. Maybe I was looking at a different picture. Maybe I was looking at the clone. I counted the ones on the clip. I looked at the clip. Where are the differences? I would like to see those because I did not see them. But it does have great action. It locks up good. It's drop shut. Super fun to play with. The lock has less overhang. You mean it doesn't seat down in here as much, or it sticks out more, or what do you mean overhang? So you mean the pocket down here is milled more on the original, or what? It's called the shortcut. Keep it scale stupid. It's the Hawk shortcut. Super cool little thing. It came with a bunch of cool stuff too, and it came with one thing that I'm totally confused about and have no idea what it is. And I was hoping y'all could help me figure it out. So as you see, you can open it lots of different ways. You can use this as a thumb stud and flip it. It's kind of small down here on the end, so you got to kind of hold it, but you can flip it like a flipper. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. You can straight tap it right there. To open it, just tap it. You gotta tap it a little hard. Or you can use the top little thing here to open it. That's the way I've been opening it. But once you get it past the lock, it just drops. It's good centering. Anyway, it came with a few things, and one of the things I can't understand. So it came with the tool for the pivot, because the pivot is shaped different. So it came with a little tool for that. It came with a T6 and T8 bit for the other screws, as well as two keyring adapter things. And then it came with this screw, and this screw has it looks like it has knurling on it to where it's like a finger screw, but I cannot figure out anywhere on here that this screw will fit and serve a purpose. Unless maybe you replace, the only thing I could think of is that you replace this screw to actually give it a thumb stud. But I don't know what this screw goes to, and the threads on it are kind of big. I don't think the threads would fit on this where I said it would go. I think it's too big to go in there. And like I said, it does have knurling on it, and it's a flathead. To fill the removed clip, I'm not sure about that. The clip is cool too. It's got the little springy clip. I don't even know how the clip comes off. I guess you take out that screw to start with. See if we can figure that out. So is that how you remove the clip? I don't even know if that's how you remove the clip. I don't think the clip is attached that way. No, that's how you take apart the whole knife. I think you have to remove the clip from the inside maybe. So I'm not sure about that. I think the clip is attached on the inside. I have not disassembled this thing yet. Finger tighten screw for the blade removal. Right here? I bet it is too. I bet you're right. Let's see if it fits here. It looks bigger than that screw. But it might not be. Let me see if it fits there. And then we will move on. Yeah, the scales do come apart. The clip's on the inside. Yeah, that's what I said. Yep, that's what it is. Good call. Good call, mister. So that's for easy blade removal. There we go. So it goes right up there. All right, I'll put that screw back in the bag. So that's what that's for. Thank you. And it also came with a little black Edyard, which it's not really an Edyard. It is a poor excuse for an Edyard. But that was super cool to have gotten in yesterday. Turn off my phone because that was annoying. I also took these. I took one of my new little bags to work. Good morning, Michael. Which had a few knives in it. It had, I was going to shoot videos of the growler and the Riot. And I was going to shoot, I don't know. I asked the members a question last night, and that was why don't y'all like this knife? Like, why don't more people like the Duck? Do you not like how it looks? Do you not like the blade? Like, why doesn't everybody own one of these? I think it's a beautiful knife. Is it because it's a clone? But full titanium milled superb action knife for $90. I don't know why everybody doesn't have one. I guess some people just don't like the looks of it. Is the clip too big? Is the clip too funky for some people? Like, I don't know. Well, keep it scale stupid. It's, you know, you can not buy one knife and for the price of two for $90. Yeah, knives are life, but you know, something else I've noticed, and I don't fault you for this, but I've never seen it in any of your pictures. And I guess that's just because you don't want to have to deal with the aftermath on Instagram. And I totally get it. Like, I don't blame you, I guess. But if you love it so much, why is it not in pictures? I know why it's not. I'm just messing, but it sucks that you can't take pictures of it. It's there? Oh, I haven't seen any pictures on your Instagram, but maybe there are. I mean, if you buy two $45 knives, keep it scale stupid, you can buy a $90 knife. Yeah, I don't know how easy of a changing that clip out would be though, because I don't know if they make, I don't know how many aftermarket ones they make, and it's attached from the inside, so that's the only problem. All right, so man, every day I'm learning more about the laser. And yesterday I finally figured out how to find out where. So I'm pretty sure that y'all don't know this, but when you buy a laser, so the laser has the arm on it with the laser head and the lens, and that arm can be adjusted anywhere along the bed. So the surface that you're going to be lasering on, you've got the little grid. That head can sit anywhere along this dimension, and then you also raise it up and down to focus the laser. But anyway, so figuring out where you're at on the bed is something you need to do pretty quickly. So yesterday I was able to find out on the software I'm going to be using for the laser, where the position is on my bed that the laser is hitting. So I was able to set up some fixturing to where I can repeat stuff, and I've made a couple of saved programs now to where I can line my business cards up. So what I'm getting at is I practiced a bunch yesterday with the laser, and I learned a few things. I learned that when you look at an image on screen and it looks like it's drawing black, but if you're lasering something that's black, then it turns that white. So you have to turn on the negative. So when I looked at this on the screen, everything that's white was black. But when I put it onto a black card, it turned all of that white. So this is what I wanted it to look like, and this is what it looked like on the screen. So on these little flimsy business cards, metal business cards, I learned that I've got to do negative images to make it look like I want to, and which means that it lasered all the border around it also. But as you can see, I've got my placement perfect, and the gaps on either side, top and bottom, are all even. So I figured that out. Then I was trying to work on scale. This was before that. So I scaled it up, made it a little bigger, made it fit to the edges, but then it wasn't centered right, so scratch that one. So after I made my jig, I figured out I had it up on a little platform, so the laser wasn't focused anymore. So this is what it does if the laser is out of focus. So this is the same logo as this one, except it's out of focus, and it did some cool little shading and stuff. So I learned something about that, how to get out of focus and make some cool little patterns. Then I figured out how to make them perfect and repeatable. And so now I've got my little jig set up and my files right, and I can just throw the cards on there and it makes them perfect every time. So I've got the little thin. Good morning, John. Good morning, Waylon. So I figured out how to make my business cards perfect every time now, and they turned out cool. Which means it won't be many days now since I've got my placement lined up and I've got repeatability lined up that I can start etching on some titanium knife scales and start putting some color on some knife scales. So we should be doing some etching here, some engraving here soon. Now I just need to learn the software better. I've got the laser pretty much dialed in. I just got to learn how to do the patterns and stuff and lay out the laser marks on the knife scales, and how to scan in knife scales to get them the right size to put a pattern on them. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me show you an example really quick. Oh, by the way, my buddy Buckaroo Bonsai got one of my Grail knives on the way, and that is a Protean with a Warncliffe, and that is a beautiful knife. So I'm glad he shared that with us this morning. This is what he's carrying today, his Riff Raff and Mini Trogon, along with some other stuff. And this is what Mr. Nick is carrying, his Evo and his High Grain Designs DeVille. So that's super cool. Mr. Ed shared some pics last night of what he carried to work. And that is Yojimbo and that Ned Foss, is it the Cougar maybe? So that's cool. This is what I'm talking about the fixturing. So I found these, hold on. Wrong click. I found these right here, which are some fixtures for the laser bed. So this is what I was talking about getting repeatability. You have to be able to line stuff up. So they sell a little set of these to set your corners and get your coordinates correct, so you can throw something in that corner right there and it'll always be in that corner. And then you're able to locate it. So after I found this set, I continued to look for a little while, and I noticed that everybody is 3D printing their own sets. So these are the same things, and you can make little corners, like this is a 90-degree corner that you can drop stuff in, or you can make rounded corners, clamps, and you can make them where they slide back and forth so they're adjustable. And I need to get my 3D printer hooked up so I can start printing out some fixturing for my laser. John, to be completely honest with you, and I don't want to admit this, but it's better than the clone. And that is saying that out of the box, the detent and the closing action are better than the clone was. Now, I've got the clone tuned to where it's about the same, and there's things that I like about the clone because the clone is based on the $1,000 custom version instead of this version. So, but as far as out of the box action, after cleaning this one, it has better detent and better all around action than the clone, which doesn't surprise me completely, but it's definitely, if I didn't pay for this knife what I did, then I would say it's not as good because of the price. But since I paid less for this than I did the clone, I've got to say this is better. At the normal price that this came out at, like $450, which is like 2.5 times what I paid for the clone, I would say the clone would probably be better. But I got this one for $170, and I can't find a single scratch on it anywhere. Like, I can't find a snail on it, can't find a scratch. The only thing I noticed is that the blue has been taken off of the pivot collars because it originally came with that blue around it. So the pivot collars, the blue has been removed, and the blade was extremely dull, but there's no scratches on the blade anywhere. But anyway, that's my thoughts about that. I got to be honest. I don't lie to y'all. The D10 is a little light on the clone compared to this one. And the clone will shake out easier than this one will. And I adjusted the clone so it's better now. It's got actually too hard of detent, which makes the closing action, you got to sacrifice, you know, it's one way or the other. So I put more pressure in it to give it more detent, and it made the closing action suffer. So this one closes better now. So that's the answer to that. I thought today, since I've been going over some of my collections, we will go over one of my smaller collections. It won't take as long. Good morning, Mitchell. And we can talk about some stuff that y'all want to talk about. Whenever y'all bring it up, I will stop and go into that. So if y'all have anything in the knife world news that y'all want to talk about, just let me know. So like I said, they're not based on the same knives. The clone is a copy of the $1,000 knife instead of the $450. So let me show you the differences here. So when you type in Microtech Annex, you get a Blade HQ link, and this is the knife that I have currently. And as you can see, it came with blue pivot collars, and it has the blue over travel stop. And it is a true integral in the sense that everything about it is one. It's carved out of one piece of titanium, except for the clip. So the lock bar is all part of the frame lock, all part of the integral. And then if you go to Arizona Custom Knives and type in Annex, you will see that they have a stonewash version down here. Right here. And this is the version that the clone is based off of. So the difference is on the clip side, on the lock bar side, the lock bar is a separate piece on this one. And I didn't show you, but the hardware on this one has that, all the screws have those little triangular screws on it, including where the clip goes and the two lock bar inserts and the stop pin and the pivot. And on this one, it has the little 6-pointed dot hardware. So that's another difference. But like I said, the lock bar is a second piece. So in reality, it's not made out of one piece of titanium. It's made out of two pieces of titanium and the clip. But they are close enough. One is a custom Marfione custom version, and then one is the production version. So hold on, I'm going to grab them and see about the size wise. They are basically exactly the same size, but like I said, they're based on kind of different knives. I'm gonna I hope that breaks it down enough for you. But so as you can see, the blade grind is a little different on the clone, and I kind of like it better. It hugs the scales. It comes in closer to the scales on the custom, whereas there's more of a gap right there at the end of the scales on the real thing. The shape of the fuller is different. As you can see, this one has that weird point, and this one has the little rounded off part. The pivot collars and surrounds are bigger on the Microtech. let's see, trying to compare them here. Looks like the dots on the back are bigger on the Microtech, as you see. But like I said, the clone is based off of the custom. Then you come around here to this side, and it does not have an over travel stop. But the difference is this one has an external, because it's all one piece, it has an external lock bar insert. But this one, since you can take off this piece, it has an internal lock bar insert. So this internal lock bar insert acts as the over travel stop, where this one has to have an over travel stop because it is one piece. I hope that made sense too. The clone does look a lot cleaner because of that over travel stop, except for the fact that it doesn't look as clean right here because it's two pieces. So it's a give and a take. Like, this one looks cleaner down at this end because it's all one piece. This one looks cleaner right in through here because it has an internal over travel stop built into the lock bar insert. As you can see, the clips on this one doesn't curve at the bottom down there as much as the Microtech. And it doesn't sit over, it sits over to the left more, where this one's kind of in the middle. This is the first time I've actually compared them. I was going to do a video and do this, but doing this ahead of time will give me stuff to mention in the video. It looks like overall width, the frame lock is thicker on the Microtech, and the blade jimping is more pronounced on the clone, on the custom, and the jimping right here on the lock bar is spaced closer together. So that's pretty much my comparison. If you got any other things you want me to look at and tell you, I will. But I think that was pretty thorough. I would prefer if this one didn't have the carbon fiber, of course, but since I got it for $170, I can't complain. And it does have great action, and I put an edge on it last night, so it's good and sharp. In fact, let me show you the difference. So every night, if you do repeatable tasks, that's how you can tell how sharp a knife is. And every night I make coffee, and I hold 2 coffee bags to cut them open, and they're metallic, and when you get to the middle they overlap, and it makes like 8 layers. Oh, by the way, before I get to this, let me just show you the difference in action now. So I've got the detent tightened up on this one, but the lock bar is pretty tight, and I have to shake this one pretty vigorously to get it to close now. It was dropping shut, but then it would also just sling right open because it had no detent. Whereas this one just closes with one little drop. Whereas this one, that same amount of drop, it takes about 2 or 3 of those. Yeah. So the action, but the detent I had to tighten up because it was just shaking out, and I think it'll still shake out. Yeah, it shook all the way open. So let me see if the real one will do that. Yep. If I shake it hard enough, just about any knife will do it if you shake it hard enough. That's what she said. So anyway, I put an edge on it, and it is way sharper now. And like I said, if you do repetitive tasks every night, you will learn how to test your knives. And one of the things I do is open coffee. And when I first got it, it acted like a saw, and it looks like a beaver opened those coffee bags. But I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but right in the middle where that flap is, it overlaps and folds, and it makes, by the time you cut through 2 of these, it's like 8 or 10 layers. So as I get to the middle here is when I can tell how sharp a knife is, whether it just goes right through or not. So that was when I first got it. And then last night after I put an edge on it, it went right through them. And like I said, it's just something that I do every night with whatever knife I have on me. And according to how easily they go through that metallic foil, lets me know how sharp the knife is. And y'all can't see that, of course. Good grief. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. Sorry. You can see right here where they double over in the middle, where the seam is. And that's when I first got it. The night I got it, I had to basically saw through it. And then after I put an edge on it last night, that's what it did. It just went right through like glass. So like I said, anything you do repetitive with a knife every single day will give you some kind of judge on how sharp something is. So that is my daily sharpness test of whatever knife I have in my pocket. I'm sure y'all have something that you might do daily that you, whether it's cutting boxes or whatever, let you know how sharp a knife is. But today I thought since we would continue on the theme of going over some of my collections, and we go over a smaller one that I don't have as many of. Yeah, it looks like a beaver opened it, John. It looks like a beaver chewed its way through it. Yeah, I couldn't even hardly get the knife through it. Like, it was pretty bad. And then it just silky cut through last night. Today I'm getting that Motionary knife and the new SMKE or Royat Rask. So they're out for delivery. And 8010 Tonto is out for delivery today. But I got a Motionary, another integral. I think it's an integral. I got it from Blade Binge. It's the Sever 7 actually let me know about it. And I think it's the MK13 maybe? Motionary MK13 Blade Binge. Yeah, I got one of those. It was listed on there for $125, so that's why I grabbed it. And it's a rattlesnake design, 20 CV. So that will be another integral I get today. I don't know where the Blade Binge post is. Let's see. It is right here, account, purchases, copy link address, paste. That didn't work. So this will work. So yeah, this is out for delivery today. Cool little knife. I like the way the back of it looks. Love me some integrals. It's got a wild looking profile. Pretty wild looking clip. I don't know about this bottom part too, where it like curves down. I don't know. I bought it because I want one of the Motionary knives to check them out, and it's not my favorite of the ones they make, But like I said, it was 125 bucks, as you see right there at the top. So I grabbed it. It is a 3-inch blade, 6.7, 6 3/4 overall. So yeah, medium size little knife. 2.75 ounces. All right. Yeah, paper towel test is a tough one. If you can cut paper towels, you can you know how to sharpen your knives. I just went to 800 on this one last night because I just did it in like 5 minutes. I just went from having no edge to having a edge. I'll fine tune it. I just stropped it. I just went 180, 400, 800, and then stropped it because I was late. Anyway, so what brand are we looking at today? Now, this is a brand that y'all are going to have to help me on. And we're going to have to look up some knives because I don't remember the names of all of them. Because I've had them, some of them, since the very start of my collecting, 18 months ago. That should give you some kind of hint because I told y'all I started on Amazon. So we will start with the budget versions. The most budget version of this line. And it looks like I might only have a couple of those. 3 maybe. Any guesses? I kind of gave some hints by saying a budget line. And Amazon. And I know the name of this one, so we'll start with it. And it is one of my favorite knives, budget knives. If I could recommend a budget knife to anybody that likes big knives. Nope, it's not Grow because they don't really have a budget line and a better line. But you'll know right as I show this first knife. So yeah, I only started collecting 18 months ago, John. Yep, y'all got it right. So it's Civivi, Sincut, and Wee. Yes, John, I only started collecting 18 months ago, and I've acquired that many. All right. So the first one I have to show is the Sincut Glide Strike, which is an awesome knife. And as you can see, it has a black blade, but it also has an awesome finger choil that you can choke up on. And it has great jimping on the back here that stops your finger when you press in. And it is a big boy. And it has some of the most guillotine drop shut action of any knife I got. Yeah, I went hard, John. So yeah, this is the Sincut Glide Strike. Great action on it. It does not have an ugly flipper tab. It has some nice textured G10. Nice clip. Can't beat it. All right, so we will start with that one. Next is one I don't know the name of. It is one of their Cuburia wood or whatever that wood is that they make stuff in. And it is this one. It's got a harpoon, like y'all know I like, with the thumb ramp. Jimping on it like it should. Nice big finger choil so you can choke up on it. Let me get my phone so I can tell y'all what the names of these are. Let me look at my Amazon account and type in Sin Cut. And this will let me know if I'm missing any knives too. So this is the Actium. I was going to say that a minute ago. I thought it might have been the Actium. But this is the Sin Cut Actium. Same nice clip, liner lock, nice jimping, nice finger choil, nice harpoon blade. Another big knife. I don't think it's as big as the Glide Strike. Not many of them are. The Glide Strike is a giant knife. But it is still a big knife. As you can see, I can still get 4 fingers on it easily without using the forward choil. So that's number 2 of the Sin Cuts. And it looks like number 3 is the Serene button lock. Another black blade. So for somebody that says they don't like black blades, I'm noticing a theme here. I didn't know that when I first started buying knives. So even though I love this red, I don't like the black anymore. I mean, it looks good with this red, I guess. This is a button lock version, and it is a big knife also. And if anybody's watched my videos, you'll know that I bought all these knives on the recommendation of the YouTubers that I was watching at the time, which was probably like a Bees Blades or Knives or Stassa or Lefty or maybe Metal Complex. Whichever ones, they had videos up that said the best knives under $50 or the best knives under $80. I went through and found the ones I liked and acquired them. So that is number 3. And according to my Amazon, that is the only 3 Sin Cuts that I have bought from Amazon. Now we switch over to Civivi. So we might as well start in order new to old instead of old to new. And that's just how it goes. I got a Neurohaptic a few months ago, probably 2 or 3 months ago. This is my newest Civivi, and it is a big boy, very big. I would say it is probably bigger than the Glide Strike, but no, the Glide Strike is still just a hair bigger. But the Neurohaptic is a cool knife. It does have their Damascus, and carbon fiber, neither of which I like really. But if you're going to buy this model of this knife, if you're going to buy this knife, you got to get this model. Does have a flipper tab. The flipper tab kind of hides and doesn't stick out too bad when it's open. Button lock works great. Lockup is great. As you can see, it's a giant handle. Cool knife. So that is the first Civivi. That's the Neurohaptic. Then it looks like the one I got before that was the Cloud Peak fixed blade, which I've showed y'all also. Then before that, I got the Star Flare, which is another button lock and Damascus blade, Warncliffe. The lines on it are super cool. Super cool looking knife. I'm sure it functions well also. The action on it is superb. It just drops shut. Oh, that was something else I wanted to mention about this thing, is no matter how hard you close it, I've not seen it bounce yet. That D10, I mean, I'm slinging it closed and it does not bounce out. It stays closed, so that D10 is perfect on this thing. the way this one just closed reminded me of that. Reverse flick takes some getting used to, but this one just closes, like it just locks closed. But it will bounce out. But that is the Star Flare. Then if we scroll down, it looks like the next one that I got before that is the Vision FG. Seeing a theme here, these last three all have that Damascus blade. But like I said, when you buy certain models of these knives, you just have to get that blade because it looks the best, I guess. But this is a lot of people's favorite EDC knife, including Metal Complex. He talks about it being the best value EDC knife, and it has that Snex lock, or whatever else they call it, which is kind of like the Cold Steel, the Demco lock, and very easy to use. You can open it with the thumb stud, or you can just pull the lock and open it. But the Vision FG is a lot of people's favorite. Alright, then before that is one I had on the table because I took a picture of it, and that is the Civivi Baby Banter. And it's probably my favorite little fifth pocket knife. And y'all know how big my hands are, and this knife is tiny, but yet I can get all 4 fingers on it, which is pretty wild. The ergos on this thing are great for a little fifth pocket knife. That forward choil makes it perfect for getting in there and doing work. And I got this version because I liked it. I don't know. You can see I like the red and whites, I guess. And just to give you a time frame here, I purchased that one on February 12th, 2024. So I had not been collecting very long. Alright, then we go to the Praxis. We got the Praxis, which is another black blade. Got ashes on it. And I like their Corborea wood. I don't even know how to say that word. And am I talking about the right wood? Cubertia wood. I like the wood. I don't know. There's something about wood handles that get in my feels and make me think about when I was a kid and a Boy Scout and had a little wooden pocket knife. There's something about wood, and this one has superb action, flipper only, big blade. Yeah, big knife, great knife. Cubortia. Anyway, I love the blade shape on this one. I love how wide it is. I love its shot. Got just the right jimping there. Nice swedge on it. Nice finger choil. Super cool knife. Everybody's got to have a Praxis. Alright, and then next is probably my favorite out of the wooden ones, and that's the Conspirator. So this is the same wooden handles. This one does have a fuller that you can flick off of, which I prefer over that one having nothing but the flipper tab. This one does have a flipper tab, and it is a button lock. So it's got all 3 ways of deployment. You can just push the button and use a little wrist. You can use the fuller and reverse flick, or you can use the flipper tab and open it. And the Conspirator is a great size, shape, value knife. Can't go wrong with it. It makes a ton of people's lists. Got great jimping up there. Got the little finger choil where you can get up on it. Precision. Superb drop shut action when you hit the button. Good lockup, good centering, all that. So that's that one. And it looks like that is all the ones that I bought from Amazon. So throughout the time, now I'll be lost on these last three. And I think I know what one of them is. I know y'all know what one of them is. So I'm pretty sure my sister might have gave me this one. This looks like her blade shape. It's got a hollow grind. I don't know the model of this one, but it's got a super cool hollow grind. Perfect size for 4 fingers on it. It's got that choil up there too. My sister likes this blade shape, so you'll see a lot of the knives she gifts me will be this blade shape. Don't know what model this is. Yeah, Mitchell, I kind of went overboard. We need to figure out what model this is, just for continuity of the stream. So let me see if I can do that really quick. All right, what is this knife? This is a... Come on, Google, be good to me. This is the Dogma. Very good, Waylon. It is the Dogma. So that is the Civivi Dogma. Then let me see if I can go ahead and figure out what this one is before I show it to you, so I don't look so stupid. Although I like when y'all can guess and tell me the name of it. Okay. See if y'all know what model this one is. So this has got a very distinct blade hole. If you don't know how to reverse flick, this would be a good one to learn on, because you can't go wrong, and you can get really good action up there at the front of that. Who knows the name of this one? Who's got one? I don't know why it has that little patch there. It's kind of weird. Yep, Nick got it right. Right off the bat. It's the Riffle. Waylon got it. Good call, guys. So that is the Riffle. Let me clear off these and rearrange them for a minute. All right, and then last but not least, this is the last Civivi I've got. And I got this one not long ago in a bundle deal. And it is aluminum. Super cool blade shape and overall shape. And I couldn't, it's the mini something, I think, but y'all have to tell me what this one is too. Like I said, I got it in a bundle, and I cannot remember what this one is. It's Cubit. There you go. It's not a mini nothing. It's the Cubit. Super cool blade shape. Love it. Finger choil is okay on it. You have to get on the metal there, and it's almost a little too close to the blade to be as comfortable as the others, but it does have jimping up there for you to give you something firm to push against. It is a good size though. It's the perfect size for 4 fingers. So that is the cubit. So I can't guarantee that there's not a random other Civivi not Sin Cut, but a Civivi around somewhere in another bag somewhere. But I think I've got them all together. So after I got these knives, this one was one of my newest ones. I got it in a bundle. Then of course you know that I saw the quality of these, and I had to move on up to the big leagues. So you know what the end of this collection is. The mother company. And which one do we start with? We will start with the classic. So we will start with something you don't see down here, which is surprising, and that is an Elementum, because I have a Wii Elementum. So this is the Wii Elementum, titanium, in bronze and black blade. Yeah, you sworn off Civivi. Yeah, the Vision FG is a nice knife. I guess I should start the Wii on a new line down here. So that is the Wii Elementum. Then I will go to the one that my buddy showed he was carrying today, and that is the Christensen Knives Riff Raff. Beautiful knife. I did the lightning ano on this clip. I thought it needed just a little touch of color. I do like my plain titanium knives, but occasionally I like just a splash of color on the clip. So this is an awesome Wii. It's got that same blade style y'all see me loving. Drop point with the ramp, harpoon style. And I showed earlier, so this will let you know how small the so in the Pocket Check channel, when he posted his Pocket Check, that's a Riff Raff, and that lets you know how small the micro Trogon is, because the Riff Raff is not a big knife. In fact, it disappeared down into my case, almost as small as the Elementum. So if you know how big an Elementum is, that's about how big an overall length the Riff Raff is. So it is not a big knife, but it is a Christensen design, which I love, and I can get 4 fingers on it, just barely. So yeah, super cool little knife. Got that Wii action, like smooth as butter. Like it just, I think this one might have skiffs in it. I'm not sure. Kind of feels like skiffs. But yeah, superb action. Great sound when you open it. All right, so that is the Riff Raff. Next, we have one that Mr. Pete bought a version of because he got one for so cheap. And it was one of my first, I believe it was one of my first knife swap purchases. but it is the We Knives Sakshi, Saakshi. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of carbon fiber, but this has some nice carbon fiber, and it just has those clean, smooth lines, kind of like I don't know, like, you know, I like my Laconico knives. Not sure who designed this one, but it just looks like a knife. It's just a knifey knife. It's called the Sakshi. Has great action again. You can reverse flick off the fuller. Never carried it. Never cut anything with it because it is carbon fiber, but that is the Sakshi. Next we have the We Knives Esprit. It might be Laconico. I don't know. Is it Laconico? I just couldn't imagine him naming something the Sakshi. Let's see who makes the who designed the Sakshi. You could be right, Nick. The designer was We Knife, so it wasn't. They would have said Laconico if it wasn't an in-house designer. Blade HQ is pretty good about putting the designer, so let's see if they sell one. Yeah, so it's just from We Knife. They would have mentioned who made it down here in the description or somewhere. All right. So back to where we're at. This is the We Knives Esprit. Super cool. Texture. Orange peel. Love that orange peel texture on it. This is another awesome clean front flipper design. Does not have the ugly flipper tabs. Does have very usable thumb studs for regular flick and reverse flick. And of course the front flipper that works great. Perfect jimping, perfect location. Yeah, it'll either have his name, Yeah, they have Laconico a lot of times on the spine for Laconico knives. He tries to put it on there somewhere. This is the We Knives Esprit. I bought that from an idiot that used to be my friend that I've talked about before. And this is one people try to buy for me all the time, because it is a lightning anode version that was Zerblasted, and it has that awesome Zerblast texture. This is the sword fin. Mead's design. And another cool thing about this knife is it came with an autograph box from him, from the designer. I love the looks of this knife. I did not get the Zerblast material. We're going to be talking about that with Pocket SX Mods from Instagram. He's going to come on Saturday. He's not going to be able to come on Thursday, tomorrow, but he will be here Saturday morning. and he does Zerblasting service, and he would be the guy that I split an order with if I do get some if I do get some of that. Yeah, this is a beautiful knife for sure, and this is my style, plain titanium. Something you can't get. I like, you can't buy this version, so I like it even more. And that Zerblast finish, I don't know if you can see, but it almost looks like orange peel, but not really, and it doesn't feel like orange peel for sure. It just pings it a little bit. Great knife though. Super good action on it. Front flipper's good. Front flipper on it, the location is not as good as the Esprit. The Esprit, you can see, hangs out a little bit and the angle, but it's not hard to front flip this one at all. So that is the sword fin. Then this is a Brian Brown design for Wii. This is the Trogon. This is a lot of people's favorite Wii. If you ask them, they like the Trogon. It has that awesome micro milling. I wish it didn't have the 5 holes on it. I almost didn't buy it because of those holes, but I liked the blade shape enough. Yeah, I'll blast it for you for free, John. But as you can see with that picture that he took earlier, this is the riffraff against the actual Trogon. So when I said he was either, my comment on there was either that is a giant riffraff or that is a mini Trogon. So you can see this, the mini Trogon there beside the riffraff, and it is smaller than the riffraff, whereas the actual Trogon is quite a bit bigger than the riffraff. Man, the action on that, I'm pretty sure that has skiffs in it. But the Trogon is just a mean looking knife, and the holes almost ruined it for me too, John. I don't know why they want to throw holes in something that's this nice looking. They keep doing it, but I've talked about it plenty of times. Y'all know how I feel about that. But this is just an aggressive, I don't know. It looks like a knife a Spartan would carry. I don't know. I don't know if y'all feel me, but that blade shape reminds me of something that a gladiator would carry. A better term. And it has an awesome action. You can reverse flick off of the fuller on it also. And off the thumb stud. But the fuller runs all the way down, so you can get on the fuller on down, and it makes it easier. So that is the Trogon. Y'all hit that thumbs up for me before y'all forget. I should have 13 likes at the end of this one. This is the Wii Knives Shut-In, which is another big one that I got because I got such a good deal on it. And I like plain titanium knives. This one has a weird pattern that they had to throw in, which I don't guess I hate. I like the 2 different titanium, and it does have micro milling. So I like that difference in texture from the micro milling to the stone wash. And this is a big boy. I can lock in between the flipper tab and the back curve there. It feels very good in hand. Very good in hand. Very good in hand. That's what she said. And the blade shape, it is what it is. Got a little bit too much of a swoosh for me, but it has great action as well. I do like the angle. When they're going to put a flipper tab, why not throw a little angle on it? Makes it very snappy when opening. So that is the shut-in. Then we have the awesome WE Knives Thug XL. Probably should have shown the Thug first, but it's just how they were in the case. I love the hand rub satin on this one. This is one that my buddy that showed that riffraff was looking for a long time. He finally found one. Ed had a carbon fiber version where it's carbon fiber on this side and titanium on this side. Super. Y'all know I love the compound grinds blades like this. I love everything about that blade. Looks mean, aggressive. The blade has the same hand rubbed satin. So this is the Thug XL, and it has superb action as well. You can reverse flick it easy, regular flick it easy. That's the Thug XL. And then this is a customized version of the Thug. This one had a black wash done to it, I don't think. And I anoded the clip on it too. I thought it needed a little touch. So I did both of these clips on these WEs with the Lightning Ano. This one, I guess, Way of Knife might have done this black wash on the blade and the handles, a dark wash. But this is the smaller version of the Thug. And it's still big enough that it's a 3.5 finger knife for me, but still there's enough there. And both of them have about the same action. They won't drop shut with one little small flick, but the second one closes them. D10 is a little light on this one. I need to maybe add a little bit of pressure, but I haven't tuned these since I started tuning. But this one closes about the same. This one closes a little better. Doesn't take quite as much of a shake, but a couple of little shakes. Thug XL and Thug. Then we got what I kind of almost consider my first integral, but it's not an integral. It's a fake integral. And this was probably my most expensive WE at the time. Might still be. This is the WE Excite-On, and as you can see, it's kind of looks like an integral because it's got that cover, but I don't like how they made it. Just you can see that little cover just pops on. Like, I wish they would have blended it in better so it doesn't look like that. But it's a cool knife. It's got a little tiny flipper tab that it's at the right angle with the pivot, and it snaps it open. Cool blade on it too. Hollow grind with a compound grind at the end there. It's flat. Cool lines on it. As you can see, it's got the massive big choil that you can really choke up on. Get some nice work on it. It's the Excite-On. It's a button lock. Good jimping. Good reverse flick, and the flipper tab's not giant on it, so I don't really mind it as much as some. But that is the WE Excite-On. And then this is the WE with the worst action, and I don't remember the name of this one. I got it not long ago. This has the worst action of any of my WEs. Takes about 3 or 4 little shakes to get it to close. And it's better since I cleaned it and polished it. I don't remember the name of this one. What is this one? I got a really good deal on it too. If I can find nice WEs for around the $100 price point or less. Yeah, it's the Fornix. You're right, Nick. It does have that nice place to get your finger on there for precision cuts. Yeah, if I can find them nice Wii's for around $100, then I try to grab them. And that was the case with this one. I think I got it for maybe $80. So you can't pass that up when it was in good shape. Yeah. So I think that might be the last one. So as you can see, I don't have nearly as many Sencut Civivis and Wii's as I do Kaisers or Tucson's. But I have a nice variety. A pretty good spectrum of what they offer. And I do have an Elementum. But I don't have more than one. Oh yeah, thank you. So in my integral bag, which is over there, can't get to it, I do have a Wii Solid. I get all these deals off Swap. That's where I buy pretty much all my knives. Yes, sir. That is where I get all my deals. Let me see. I guess for the family photo, I should include the solid. Oh, there's two more Wii's. Y'all didn't even remind me, but the other day I got that other Wii integral, the Isladon. So I've got the Isladon G10 integral from Wii. It's got great action. Move this back over a little bit so I can get one more in. And then last but not least, I have the Gustavo GTC Solid, which looks a lot like that Tucson that I showed. And I did buy one. I got a good deal on it. I ended up getting it for 80 bucks when I kept asking y'all if I should buy it for 90 when it was 115 on Amazon. Some guy came back, that guy that offered me 90, since I told y'all I had 23 hours to respond, sometime during that he got nervous and sent me an $80 offer. So I took it. So that is on the way, and it looks a lot like this one, except this one is huge. Super cool back on it also. GTC makes some awesome knives. His little spring activated flipper is super cool. SLT, is that right, Nick? It says it on here somewhere. S SLT, yeah. Yeah, the good thing about swap is I just make an offer, and if they don't take it, I don't need the knife. But I always offer less than what they're asking. I don't ever pay. There's not a single time that I don't go into a post and type chat first. I don't ever YOLO anything. Yeah, spring-loaded tab, SLT. So yeah, I don't ever go in and just yell YOLO unless it's something I've been looking for a long time and it's hard to find. Oh, speaking of which, right before the stream, I put an offer in on eBay for a knife I've been looking for. Wow, that guy's an idiot. He can keep his knife. I don't need to pay that much for it anyway. But yeah, I always go in and chat, and I offer them less than what they're asking. And I'm not a jerk about it, but I usually drop $20 or $30 off on my range of knives. What I buy, $20 or $30 is about what I ask off. Let's go look at Knife Swap real quick and see what's going on this morning. Just for an example, I'll show you what I would offer or what I would do. So let's see what we got here. Brand new in box OZ Roosevelt XL. Can't do that. Okay. So this knife right here. Nobody's bought it yet. Nope, somebody bought it. I lied. So this guy chatted. He said replied, which normally means they didn't come to an agreement, but maybe they did. He was asking $155 for that. So on a knife like that, I would probably offer him, if I really wanted it, I might say $135. But I would probably say $140 just because, I mean, I'm not sure what this knife cost. I usually try to go about half price of what it was new. So I would go look up what it is new first. And wow, since it's which version did that guy have? Black micarta. So the black micarta is $375. So that $155 is a heck of a deal. So yeah, I probably would have put in. I probably would have offered him $140. What was what first knife? The one up here? The pouch? Oh, back here? That was an Evo, wasn't it? Oh. That's the Ether. That's that one that dude had some kind of weird website that is... We looked at this one. His website had a weird ordering system where you had to order right from Best Tech. And then it stopped accepting payments when he first launched it. But I definitely love the way that knife looks. So this is the second time. He's got a weird, it's $317 including sales tax and shipping. Like, I don't know. He's got a weird payment. I don't like how the payment thing is set up. You have to like email him and order it direct. Like, beautiful knife, but I'm going to have to wait till one comes up on the secondary market. S90V, belt satin, 3.5-inch blade. 8 inches overall. Beautiful knife. Yeah, it's just the ordering is all screwed up on that one. And 317, I think for a best deck, you could get a Riot for that price. I don't know. I want one for about 180 or 200 on Knife Swap, so that's where I'm going to buy one. But back to what we were looking at here. This Boker. Oh no, that second one. Boker hat. What's going on? Selling my Boker bifold and new Boker hat. You get both for $65. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Magna Cut's not bad for. Oh, that's way too thin. I've got a Burnley SQD 2. It's for sale. It's a squid. Yeah. I wouldn't offer him nothing for that one. Alright, Kaiser Huntsman. That's one I don't have. So see, this one hasn't sold yet. So I would offer him like 130. And then maybe even 120. I might offer him 120 and then he comes back at 140 and then I say 130. So that's kind of how the negotiations. Oh, John? Yeah, I can give you the link to that knife. It's just Chinese Knives subreddit. r/Chinese Knives on Reddit. And sort by new posts. And it's the second post that comes up. But yeah, I'll give you the link real quick. That should take you right to it. But yeah, the Huntsman, he's asking too much for this knife. You can get Kaisers for around $100 also. I wouldn't really want to pay more than $120 for this. And I don't like that version. And I don't know that I even like that knife. It's another Kaiser I need for the collection that I don't have that people say they love. And it's not my style. I would have bought one a long time ago if I liked it. But for $120, it's probably okay. I do want a strategy. So on this one, let's see. Where is it? I don't see it listed. Why is it in the title but not in the picture or the ad? He must have sold it ahead of time. But the strategy is a knife I want. I think. Oh, no, it was the one. Maybe I don't want one. Something about Blade Show, I think I saw one. It's a lot better price. Alright. Raven. That's one I don't have. Why does it say? Oh, it's just inserts. Weird. Oh, no, it's an actual knife. I don't know why. He posted. Is that TC? No. The Hobby Man. So he shows you the prices here. So like this, for instance, I want to get it close to 60%. 60 to 70% on newer knives is about the most I'll pay. So if you take that 248 and multiply it by 0.7, a lot of times that's what I'll do is I'll multiply things by 0.7 from retail price, and that's what I'll offer. So 248 times 0.7 is 173. So I would be happy probably paying, I would probably offer him 160, thinking that would be too low, and we might meet at 170. So that just gives you another example of what I would do there. He's asking 190. I want to pay 170 max, so I'd offer 160 and meet him at 170. And that's still $80 plus tax off of what it would be retail. I don't like that knife enough to do that. Mojave, Urban EDC, F5.5, Jaeger, Benchmade 940 serrated, Django. Here's a bunch of Kunwus. S-Tau for 170, Django for 185. That's a good price. Excalibur, 395. I can't pay that either. I could have got one cheaper than that at Blade Show. I gotta have one eventually, but I gotta find the right one for what I want to pay. Pretty knife. But it's still for sale, so nobody else wants to pay that either. Somebody just YOLO'd the Django. I would offer him 160 if I really wanted that knife. It's probably even worth 170. I've got a Django XL. Yeah, the Geronimo is going to be nice. Uh, 80-20, bailouts, Praxis, Mini Praxis, Baby Banner. See how much the Baby Banner. Somebody bought it. 35 bucks. Vosti Corsair for 45 bucks. Sencut Awasi. Let's look at the photos on this. See what they look like. The Baby Banner was in wood. That's cool. That's an ugly cormorant. I guess, what is that? Which one is that? Man, that's an ugly cormorant. Wow. I've got the Gamer Edition one. That blue is just terrible. So what Sencut is that? That's the Awasi. 30 bucks. Should I ask him if he'd take 20 for that? 20 shipped would be a good little beater. Is the tip bent? The tip looks bent, doesn't it? I think somebody bent the tip. That's what she said. Blade doesn't look scratched. Neither do the scales or the handle. I think I'm going to offer him 20 bucks real quick. See if he takes it. Let me hop over to my real Reddit account. So, y'all will see. I'll go back to the post here in just a second for y'all to see. But I just typed in chat because I'm not going to YOLO it. And I'm going to say, would you take 20 bucks for the sin cut? All right. So if I refresh this post for y'all, you'll see that under my real account, I just typed chat. And I'm a knife god. Whatever that means. It goes for 40 new. Yeah, so for 20 bucks, it's worth it. Half price to have a good little gift knife that I can give away. Warncliffe. That's what I told y'all. I try to pay around half price. And try to make sure they're in like new condition too. That one looks like it hasn't been used. What does it say about it? I didn't even read. First owner, cut paper wants to test it, but otherwise unused. Comes in taco with microfiber cloth and stickers. Perfect centering. So this is a live example of see how long it takes him to respond. We'll keep looking around here for a minute. So if y'all want to know the knife that I was talking about on eBay earlier, I want a Evil Eyes SNG integral, but this guy's an idiot, so I'm not buying it. I'm not paying $250. But Evil Eyes came out with a crystallized tie version. It's worth $250, but I don't want to pay it now, especially since dude's an idiot. I offered him $230, and I told him I would promote his eBay on my YouTube channel, and he said no to both. Was his response. So screw that guy. But as you can see, it is a beautiful crystallized tie integral that Evil Eyes made of a SNG, and I want one. But I don't want dudes, and I would re-anno it. I would wink it and re-anno it to get that fade off of it. I don't like that fade. .45 automatic Colt. That's pretty cool. That's a cool knife. Yeah, mister, you better not buy it. Or go ahead and buy it and sell it to me later. Okay, dude responded with 25. I would do 22 to help a little with shipping. Is that a jerk? I just don't want to. I don't want. So, dude came back. Appreciate the offer. I'd do 25 if that works for you. With shipping and fees included, 20 is just a bit too low. Oh, he only has 3 swaps. And I would do Friends and family, so no fees. So let me explain something. This guy right here that we looked at, he's a new seller and he only has 3 swaps. So up here at the top it says Junior Trader, PayPal goods and services only. So he loses 3% automatically. And that's to protect the buyer. But most everybody on here is pretty straight up, and 22 bucks is not going to break me either way if I lose the knife. So since I told him I would do friends and family, that means he doesn't have to pay the 3% fee. So the 22 bucks, he said, let's do it. So I just got it for 22 bucks. I don't have a Kaiser Pioneer. I don't like the way it looks. I've got the Kubi Pioneer. So I got that knife for 22 bucks. With tax, that's half price. I pay 10% sales tax, so if it's 40 bucks, it would cost me 44 bucks. So I'm cool with the 22 bucks. He's cool because he doesn't have to pay fees. So he said, let's do it. So I'm about to send him 22 bucks and my address. And that's a real-time example of how you do knife swap. And it helps. It helps a lot if you don't need a knife. And y'all know me, there's not many knives I do need. So unless it's something I'm really just hunting for, then I'm just going to let it go if they don't want to give me what I want to pay for it. And that's why I tell people it's always a buyer's market on knife swap. These guys are needing to get rid of these knives for some reason. And I'm on the other side, not really needing to buy a knife. Yeah, I don't have that many swaps. There's a lot of people that have a lot more than me. Let me send this. Hold on. All right, sent. Give him my name, my address. Boom. All right, I'm done. Yeah, I don't have that many swaps. 123. I've only sold a couple, so 120 of those are all purchases. But if you go to Knife Swap and go down through here, look at some of these guys. 300. Some of these guys have ridiculous, like over 1,000. 159. 326. That's my buddy Alpha Lead. I buy knives from him all the time. A lot of these guys you'll do multiple swaps with because they just keep buying 255, 291. I want y'all to see one of the big ones. I mean, over 300's a lot, but some of these guys just do it all day long. I swear they just want to touch knives and hand it on to the next guy. I think there's not a list. I don't think you can sort by swaps. 154, 104, 70, 130. 116, 172, 290, 121, 128. I'm pretty average. Strix, 229, sold for 410. That's the one I would want too. Yeah, it's a want. I mean, I don't know. Like, people talk to me like I'm crazy, but I think it's more of like a collecting thing. Like, I just enjoy different varieties of them. It's a tool when it comes down to it, and I've got plenty of knives to cut with. So it's like a person. I've tried to tell people it's kind of like a person that collects shot glasses. I mean, there's lots of people, every trip they go on, they buy them a shot glass, and I guess that kind of reminds them of the place they went. So it's not the same as a knife, but there's people with shelves of shot glasses that they'll never actually take a shot out of. And granted, it's a lot cheaper hobby, but when you get into collecting, there's no real reason or right or wrong for what you're collecting. You're doing it because you like the way that things look, and you like to have different kinds of the same item. There's a guy with 738 swaps. Franklin said has 738 swaps. So that's pretty wild. Oh, by the way, I sold that titanium sheepdog, and I don't know if he's watching the stream, the guy I'm about to send it to, so I don't want him to feel bad. So I guess I won't mention what I was going to mention. But let's just say I bought the sheepdog and that Tonto version of the beg lighter, and let's just say with what I sold the sheepdog for, I got a heck of a deal on the beg lighter. I might have gotten it for like maybe $10 or something. So getting a new titanium Kaiser beg lighter Tonto for $10 is not a bad deal. But with what I sold the other one at, it works out to where I paid about $10 for that titanium beg lighter. Let's go see what they run. Not even sure what the Tonto version runs. Kaiser beg lighter Tonto. Titanium. They definitely don't sell it on their site anymore. I knew that was a stupid. Here we go, Blade HQ. 169 when they quit selling it. That's not bad for $10. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to start ending this one out. It's been a good Wednesday. I do appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Maybe you learned a little something about how to bargain on Knife Swap. I hope I don't get ripped off for $22 because I sent that guy friends and family. I couldn't say anything to the mods about it because I broke a rule too. I'm not supposed to pay him that way because he's new. But I'm a trusting fella. So there's that. I'm going to make sure that I put all these back up in their home so that I do a good job of being able to find them again next time we want to look at them. I do try to place some knives across from, so when I got a long knife, I need a short knife across from it in the case so they don't hit. If you want to know another super cool little Amazon knife, Shanzhou makes a couple of knives that are really cool. This is one of them. It's a button lock. I don't know if they still sell this one, but that's a cool one. And then they also make one called a, man, what is this one called? Peafowl. This one's called a Peafowl, and this is in a copper carbon fiber. And this Peafowl is a good little Shanzhou knife. I think William was wanting to buy one of these, and I told him I had one. So I have two of those Peafowls, and I want to sell this ugly brown and black one. But it's a cool little knife. It's in the same bag as my Civivi and Sin Cut, so that's why I mentioned it. All right, all those are put back up. So as y'all can see, you asked me how I can find my knives. Again, this is one of those little cases, and I got the sticker on it that says Civivi, Sin Cut, Boker, SRM, and Buck. I've only got two Bokers. They're both in there. These both go in my integral bag, along with both of these. And then my new little shortcut. I want to call it the shortcut every time. So this thing's cool. Oh, I almost forgot. So they didn't send me that cool blade that it comes with, or supposed to come with, the topo blade. So I did something super cool and found laser. I can make my own razor blades now with the laser, which I totally didn't think of, but I found this site. Let me show you really quick. I found these on Amazon, and these are super cool. They're laser engraved and colored with the laser, because you can color stainless steel also with the laser. So I bought the We the People one, which is this one right here. Let's see. I don't know where it's at. We the People. So I bought this blade for my shortcut, and that's what it looks like on both sides. But they have all different kinds. And once I figure out my laser a little more, I can make y'all some custom razor blades. If y'all want this link, Mister, if you want this link, I'll throw it in the chat really quick for you. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool to have on it. since it has USA on the side already, on that little right there under my finger, I thought it would look cool with the We the People blade on it. So yeah, anyway, that's shortcut. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here once again. If y'all need me, make sure to email me. Mitchell, have a good day, sir. Mr. Michael, Mr. John, Mr. Waylon, Mr. Nick, you're still in the background. Mr. Knives Are Life, if you're still back there. Appreciate all of you good fellas. Mr. Waylon, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid, Mr. John, again. Thank you, good sirs. See y'all tomorrow. We've got a couple more brands we can go through, but we're going to do some modding tomorrow of some type. Not exactly sure what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. We might do some bead blasting and mirror polishing and fix up that blade that I said I was going to do yesterday. I got to messing with the laser and I never did get around to it, so that Barker Hokkaido we might totally redo. We might bead blast it, mirror polish the blade, and anno the scales and post it on Knife Swap for sale. And just do a whole knife refurb and sell on Knife Swap. See how that goes. See you later, buddy. Mr. Bob. Anyway, guys, y'all have a great hump day. The week is almost over.